So, what does Monstrology have to do with anything? What is Monstrology? It's like nobody ever does it. Like only a very small percentage of people that play the game actually use Monstrology. And guess what? I'm actually one of those people. I'm ranked 23 in Monstrology. Don't roast me. I know. I had to. I'm one of those people. Anyways, now with Monstrology, there's a couple cool things that you can do. You can extract animus from creatures that have their corresponding Monstrology spell. And once you get enough animus, you could do one of three things. You could either craft a summon treasure card, so you can summon that creature into battle to help you if you need that. You could craft a house guest with that as well. So you could have like that creature just walk around your house if you really want to, which is also dope. Have you ever seen the Devourer walk around somebody's house? I haven't. That's probably hard as hell to do. And the third thing is that doesn't apply to bosses would be the expel creature, which is the third option for Monstrology. Not for bosses though, of course, because that would be too cheese. Now, how Monstrology ties into the loot acquisition is I'm going to propose a fourth option, and that is to create jewels with the animus, and of course the usual gold cost with crafting anything with Monstrology. And not just any jewels. I'm going to be suggesting to have it be the high-end or like the in-demand pet jewels specifically. Mainly because pet jewels, they're not in packs. And Kings, if you're listening to me, don't make a pack with pet jewels. I swear to God, if you do that, I'm going to be so upset. And a ton of other people are going to be upset. Either at you guys or at me. Probably at me for even mentioning this. But we can start off with a couple jewels, right? To test this out. We can just put it in test realm, see how people like it. You could test it out with the spell proof and spell defy jewels for your pet. Those are really difficult to drop. I'm still farming for a defy jewel, and it'd be cool to not just have it be based around how lucky you can get with those drops. Because in my mind, and I'm sure in a lot of other people's minds, if you don't get the drop for a long time, it's really not that you're getting unlucky. It's because the drop rate is just so low. Or maybe the drop pool, the drop list for jewels from that creature is just like stacked with jewels. And you just can't get it because you keep on getting other jewels. Now, what I suggest for this is, of course, this is going to be more expensive and take more time with Monstrology. But have these jewels be associated to a creature that has them in pool, of course, and have it cost 50 animus, along with, I'd say, between 20 and 50,000 gold to craft from that Monstrology page. Honestly, I know 20,000, 50,000 gold, it might seem like a lot. To be honest, in my opinion, you could up it even more. You can say 75,000 for one of those jewels. But it's worth it. While you're farming with Monstrology enchanted spells, which by the way, you can't damage enchant these spells. If you enchant something with a Monstrology enchant, you're not going to be able to damage enchant them. So, it might be a little bit more difficult when fighting whatever enemy you're fighting. It might take some more time. And if you go this Monstrology route to craft, let's say, the Defy Jewel or the Spellproof Jewel, it's going to be worth it in the end, and it's going to value your time. You're going to have a clear start and finish, how I said before. You're going to know what you're doing. You're going to know what you're trying to get. You're not just going to leave everything up to luck, to just RNG. And of course, 50 animus, it might be a lot, but I'd say if it's through rank and file enemies like mob battles and stuff, I'd say it should stay at 50 animus because you can get a lot of those enemies in one battle. You can get 4 in one battle and extract all of them. You can probably get like I forget the range, maybe like 9 to 12 animus per battle, depending on your Monstrology rank. And let's say it's not on those. Let's say it's on bosses, right? Then the animus requirement should be 30 or 35. Nothing more than that, though. These jewels, they should be kind of difficult to get, but you should be able to know how to get it, rather than just throwing your hopes up in the air and just praying to get the drop. And of course, the Spell Defy Spell Proof Jewel, when crafting it with Monstrology, it should be creature locked, meaning you can only get it from one specific creature. And that's the only, and by the way, that would be the only jewel you'll be able to craft with Monstrology from that creature. What I'm saying is, if you're farming a creature for that jewel, you're going to get that jewel if you get the requirements for the Monstrology crafting. And yeah, it gives incentive to actually do Monstrology. It builds up on a system that's been established but isn't entirely used, and not much love has like been brought to it throughout the community, you know? It's mainly for decorating and not much else. There's not much incentive to try out Monstrology. There's a ton of players that just don't do it or don't even know that exists. And if I haven't said it already, I want to reiterate, these enemies that you'd be doing to get the jewels, yeah, you'd be fighting to get the jewels, my bad. They'd be high level. They'd be highest world level. They're not going to be obtainable for, I guess, lower levels. And, I mean, have whatever problems with that you want. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to get too greedy with what I'm asking or what I'm proposing. And if the Monstrology jewels, if that means if we get this in Monstrology, if we can craft these specific jewels without having to rely on RNG, and we just have to go to the creature and just farm it to get enough animus and gold to craft it, which, I mean, I'm sure people will find ways to speed it up. Ultimately, it rewards people for playing the game, and that's what you want in this game. Not many things in Wizard101 right now actually rewards the player for spending extreme amounts of time playing. Right now, especially in high level areas, it's so bad farming for stuff. Loot pools are huge, and it's always is up to RNG. It really just you really just don't want that. You don't want players to get discouraged from farming. And with Monstrology, have it so that you can create jewels, pet jewels with it, the Proof and Defy. Test it out with those jewels, because those jewels can really help out. And, like right now, the Defy jewel, it's preventing me from going into PvP. So I'm sure with the Defy or Proof jewel, if you spend a few hours farming with the Animus and all that, you can get into PvP. It's one step closer, you know? You won't be locked out. And with 5th Age, you know, on the horizon, whenever they plan to ship that out, you want people to go into PvP. You want people to enjoy it. You don't want people to spend so much time outside of PvP farming for something that they don't even know they'll get. You want them to know you'll get it eventually. And this is how many times you're going to have to do this battle in order to get it. Anyways, those are my thoughts on kind of a new way for loot acquisition to kind of take in Wizard101. Okay, so let me know what you think. I'm really curious to know what you guys think, honestly. And, you know, if you want to debate anything, if you want to ask questions, I'm happy to answer, happy to debate. And, you know, I'll catch you guys in the next vid. Peace.